Hey folks, welcome back to Graviteam Tactics. We're now at 2000 hours on the 19th of March, so the beginning of the nighttime battles. And we're in a bit of a difficult situation because I was trying to move a fresh unit or a fresher unit in here when this one pulled out. But obviously they've not arrived yet, and we've got a major Soviet push, and they're also pushing hard against this really beat up battle group here. But that's for the future. At the moment, we're going to have to just try and fend them off one more time. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up losing ground this time around. But we do have our Stugs back here. We've got some units that hopefully we can defend with if need be. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Okay, here's our setup. So obviously the main attack's coming against 70.9 and 70.4, but I fully expect the Soviets to attack the crossroads and 68.2 as well. So, how have I set up? What's my thinking? Obviously using the minefields here as a defence. We're not setting up ahead of them this time. Over here, we might have to surrender this hill if we check out here. So this is the battle group that we've had to have some replacement companies in. So who's this? Sander. So this is one of the original platoons, or the original platoon, taking some damage, and they're just going to defend from the rear slope in the hill. And then we've got our mixed or combined companies there and there. We don't have much in the way of heavy weapons at all. We've got some ammo for the mortar, and we've got a couple of machine guns. What I'm thinking is that because these two, in fact, do these combined companies, they should still have a light machine gun, surely? No. SVT-40s, so it's not terrible. Hang on, let's check out. Let me see, what have we got? There's a MG34 in there. So we've got some light machine guns, but I've decided to just have the whole battle group behind the hill and try and make the best use of the heavy weapons that we do have up here. And if we lose 70.9, as long as we hold on to the square, we should be okay. But if necessary, we will need to try and push back up and retake the hill. I've also up here got our light field howitzers, so they're just spread across there. And the good thing, well, the second good thing about having light field howitzers is that each of them comes with its own machine gun as protection. So that's increased obviously the amount of firepower we've got up there to defend against that attack. The attack that we're expecting in this direction, using the minefield that's around there, and I've taken a bit of a risk in having the infantry set up. Who is this? Stoltz. Where's Stoltz? Can't see Stoltz. Do it this way. So yeah, the infantry set up on the slopes of the hill, so potentially at risk from artillery fire. But over here we've got the second group. So we've got Medler there, Steinberg and Dresbach over here. And again, I do expect an attack to come in this direction from these trenches. So we've got another battle group set up here that's defending our flank. Our anti-tank guns we've got in this area as well. So we've got a couple of Pak 38s, and we've got a 53K, which is a 4.5 centimetre captured Russian gun. So we don't have the best anti-tank guns, but we need to make do. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is take these guys off, fire at will. As you can see there, they do have limited fields of fire to cover that road. let's get them to hold fire. I'll tell them when to shoot. And that's us. That's all we've got. We don't have artillery. More accurately, we do have artillery. However, our spotter's dead, so we can't call in any artillery. And the integrated heavy weapons, again, they've taken some real damage. Kander here, just got some machine guns. No mortars. And over there we've got one mortar, but it's got no ammo. So we're quite short in heavy weapons. Anyway, let's go ahead then and get the battle started. Okay, so starting off as usual, looking out for the enemy flares. And it might actually be flares this time instead of smoke, given that the light's beginning to fade. No sign of anything yet. Oh, there we go, over to the east. So that also is over by 68.2. Then we've got some from the northeast, which is where we were expecting the main attack to come. Nothing to the north, so this attack from the northeast towards Hill 70.4 looks like the first action we'll see. Coming from this sort of area. And Soviet artillery falling as usual down towards Crossroads. I don't have many units there, I do have a few. I think it's actually a leader unit. Everybody else is deployed further forward, so that might be doing a bit of damage. Maybe even to heavy weapons. Yeah, so this looks like an HQ unit. I think there was an HQ unit actually that did have a couple of MG34s attached. Not sure if it's them or not. And we have a scout car, and a scout car would normally suggest there's going to be armour following in. And actually there, in the centre of the screen, it looks like there's vehicle lights there. So if we maybe have a look at that from a different position, and we get a better view. Yeah, there we go. That looks like a Churchill, which is a bit of a problem. Churchill, its armour is equivalent roughly to a KV-1. It's an infantry tank. It was not designed to move fast, but it was designed to deal with trench positions. So we've got a 4.5cm gun here that we're going to try and take out the scout car with. There we go. Definite hit, but no, it's not knocked out. There's another one right into the wheel. It's still moving. But it looks like it's pulling back, but I've lost that gun. I guess the Churchill must have taken it out. So there's quite a bit of infantry around as well. The scout car does seem to be pulling back. But yeah, there are fortunately plenty of infantry, but they're coming over this patch of open ground that I've got really well covered with our machine guns. And you can hear the mortars firing away in the background as well. So, looking at the wider picture, as you can see, we've got some good crossfires going on there. And there are a fair number of infantry coming in. So probably a battle group. And I thought it was enemy troops there in the centre screen, but that's my units. Nothing coming in at Hill 70.9 at the moment. So this gun looks like it's out of action. The wheel seems to be broken. There's also, they've taken one casualty. The loader is wounded and it does have a broken wheel, so repairable as long as we don't lose the ground. And I've got my 5cm guns, my Pak 38s, they're holding fire just now. There's 2 tanks there, 2 Churchills. We'll let them get closer before we open up on them. I'm not sure what the tank to the rear's doing. But anyway, so the infantry is getting closer. You can see they're making use of smoke. But my machine guns don't seem to be too badly hampered by that. There's probably just plenty of targets for them to shoot at across the map. Scout car still around. Staying back out the way for now. And somebody's shooting at that machine gun position. So, I'm fairly confident that the infantry can be held off. You can see all the smoke grenades that have been thrown out there. There are an awful lot of them. Second tank seems to have pulled right back from where it was. Not much else happening. So, yeah, I think we'll be able to hold that off. This tank still seems to be supporting the attack, but that one there, I don't know where that's heading. There's some firing going on over at Hill 70.9 now. So there is an attack coming in here. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with that with the light howitzers. Yeah, there's a few corpses up there. Field howitzers, there's 3 of them there, plus there's 3 machine guns. So we've got plenty to deal with anything that's on top of that hill. It looks like there's some firing going on over here as well. But back towards the crossroads, still dealing with infantry. The smoke's beginning to disperse. And we've got the scout car there. Can't see it really for, I don't know if it's smoke or snow that's been thrown up. We've lost sight of one of the tanks though. Maybe it's been, no, it's not been taken out. We didn't, or the guns shouldn't have been engaging it yet. But a lot of the infantry that we could see, we can no longer see, so hopefully that means the troops have all been killed or wounded. The mortars are still engaging. And that tank's reappeared. Okay, so this machine gun here looks like it's out of action. Looks like one dead crewman. But we've still got plenty covering that area ahead of us. And that tank, it actually looks like it's trying to work round onto our flank. Which would be a worry. I don't have any anti-tank capability at all across there. And another tank here is moving in now with the scout car, I think. And there it is. So, oh, good hit straight away from our Pak 38. So, don't think it's disabled the tank. And hopefully the second gun can sight them as well. I'm not shooting at the scout car, but the tank still seems to be active. I'd rather you, yeah, it is shooting back. So go for the tank, please. No, it's moving, so it didn't break the track. Second gun over here does have a good angle for a flank shot, well, a decent angle. It's not great, but better than head on. And it's blown bits off the tank. But we need these guns to take it out. The infantry are highly unlikely to be able to deal with that if it gets into the trenches. More bits blown off it, but it's still going forward. I think this gun's ceased firing now. It shouldn't be out of ammo. Maybe it just can't see the tank. Obviously we're slightly elevated in the position we're looking at it from, and the ground does slope down. You can see the scout cars sort of below the level of the trenches. This gun's not really firing either. So maybe that is it. Maybe the tank is just a bit too low for them to engage just now. The scout cars getting close. As long as the guns are still active when the Churchill gets back into a position we can shoot at, it should be so close that we've got a good chance of a penetration. It can still fire, obviously. Looking at the wider angle, you can see we've got our guns on the extreme left and right of the screen at the moment. So one of them should always hopefully have a decent flank shot in the tank, but the scout car is now just about in our lines. The infantry might be able to deal with it if they were close enough. I think the anti-tank guns are shooting at it. I love the way the wheels go in the scout car. You never know whether the axle's broken or whether it's just the wheels are turned. But that looks like it's disabled now. It looks like there's a hit right on the front as well. This gun here, this is the one to the right of the Churchill. Yeah, so it's taken some damage and one casualty. In fact, 5 casualties, 2 of them lightly wounded, but it's still able to fire, and it looks like the Churchill has lost a track. Can't see. The attack's still there. So that's good and bad. It's obviously it's not going to get into the trenches, but also it's not going to get any closer, so that's the range that we're going to have to try and finish it off from. There's not a lot. They're still shooting, but it looks like they're shooting slightly high. I don't know whether the tank's trying to shoot my infantry or whether it's, again, just the terrain that's causing it to shoot the ground when it's trying to hit the gun. Another good hit. Well, glancing hit in the turret, it looked like. But then glancing hits can still do damage to weapons and sights and things. I think the tank's there for the duration. And now artillery coming in. Slightly late, but better late than never. They did need something to support that attack. Not a lot of artillery though, it looked like just a few rounds. I wonder what the Soviets have. There's not much machine gun fire coming back. I wonder, is it anti-tank rifles maybe they're shooting? Just these single tracers that come flying towards us from infantry units. So I guess that must be anti-tank rifle rounds. Back over at 70.9, there's some smoke over there. It looks like they are pushing in, and that's where they're supposed to attack from, I suppose, that sort of direction. The attack in the crossroads does seem to have faltered, and that second tank is now way back in the distance. So I don't think that's working round our flank at all. If it's trying to do that, it's going to take forever. The battle will be over by the time it gets anywhere near us. Down here it looks like one of our machine guns is engaging something up on health 68.2. Sometimes it's difficult to tell whether they're actually shooting at something lower and just overshooting, but that definitely does look like targeting something up on the hill. Back at the other hill, 70.9. Again, individual shots coming in, so I do think that tracer that came in there towards the gun was from an anti-tank rifle. There's not much happening up on the hill itself. There are still firing though. Machine guns also. So there must still be some movement up there they can spot. It's like a duel between the gun and the anti-tank rifle. Looking at our light field guns, we've lost one machine gun there, which is a bit of a concern. The guy's very languidly throwing something. I don't know if it's smoke grenades he's thrown. But all the firing's coming back from the tree line now. I've sent this section up here to go up and make sure that the hilltop's clear. Although it's not, you just saw there's, again, anti-tank round came in. And there's a corpse there, Soviet corpse. So yeah, just have these guys just make sure that if there is anything up here that they clear it out. Looking up from this angle, doesn't seem to be, still a wee bit of movement around. But nothing much. Now about the tank. Is the tank... It's been abandoned. Okay, so I think we're secure then at the crossroads. I don't see them mustering any more forces to try and push there again. What they do have in the area still scattered back in the distance. Other tanks way over to the right. Up here, this is up in Hill 68. So it looks like one of my troops has been wounded there. I did see what looked like a Soviet throwing a grenade or something. Yeah, just his head sticking up there. So there's still a few. In fact, we've lost the hill. Maybe need to send some more troops up here then. Don't see very much of in terms of Soviets. I'm given that I've got most of a section up here now, and they still hold the summit. There must be more that I can't see. So send these two squad sections up and just make sure that we recapture that hill. I suppose with light really beginning to go now, it makes it more difficult to spot from a distance. Well, we'll just overwhelm them with numbers. Still can't really see anything though. There was some shooting going on there. I don't think that yellow dot is up on this hill, I think that's further over. Visibility is really reduced now. Hopefully that'll be enough men to go and clear the hill. Firing's almost completely died out. Well, as you said, it picks up again. And we've retaken Hill 68, that's good. Over in Hill 70, I'm going to send these troops up to try and clear the summit. There seem to be still one or two Soviets up there. There's the odd shot that comes in. And we've still got some machine gun support. I don't think we'll be able to see this for much longer, especially once it's uploaded to YouTube. There's Darkness is falling really rapidly now. I don't like the troops are quite strung out there. We've got one guy charging up and everybody else is really hung back. There is Soviet up on top of the hill. There he is. And there are quite a few corpses. Use the old night vision trick, you can see them. I don't know what's been going on with my cursor during this battle. It's quite annoying. But yeah, it looks like there's a section there that's been wiped out, at least a section. And over here, he's edging forward. There's somebody right ahead of him. You see him moving to the left. He ducks down. Did he duck down or did he get shot? He was just going to get grenaded. That's overkill. And he goes. Alright. So that's what happens when one man advances on his own. Another grenade, that wasn't thrown by him, so there's at least two of them up here now. Okay, I need the rest of the troops to come up as a group. And we've got another lone runner, he goes down as well. And they're still a bit strung out. Really needed a coordinated advance here rather than ones and twos running up. And the machine gun support's not really that great now. It's too dark, you know, for the machine guns to spot the enemy. Okay, a few men getting up now. And there's something going down to the bottom right of the screen there. That looks like melee. Yeah, there's a Soviet chasing each other. He just shot somebody. And then, I don't know who died there. Somebody's suppressed. Looks like my guy might be injured. But there's more fighting now up at the summit. There's 3 guys, at least 4, maybe up on this hill. Damn. I need the rest of the battle group up here. We've got enough men there, but they're just too uncoordinated. Obviously, you can't see for shit now. Just watching the wee dots running around the screen. So in the centre we've got the commander and the Soviet in there. We've got 3 guys in the area. Looks like melee combat going on. We've taken out one of them at least. Commander's down. There goes the other. But we've got that machine gun in the... In fact, it looks like 2 machine guns there. To the rear of the summit. In my battle group. I'm not taking too many casualties with the troops that have advanced, but just they're all suppressed. That's why they're so strung out. And the HQ units in close combat. Right, so they've got 6 or 7 troops, I think. I think this is a mistake. And they're all really strong. In fact, it looks like some of them are pulling back. There's some of them retreating. It's not great. Back over at the crossroads, everything's quiet. At Hill 68, we're secure there. So this is now the problem for us. We've lost Hill 70.9, and it looks like all my troops that were in here have now mostly withdrawn. And there's a strong Soviet presence, so they've got a presence up on the summit where they've wiped out most of my troops, and on that other flank. But there we go. We've got the ceasefire offer. So we've lost 70.9 for sure, but we still hold 70.4 Crossroads and 68.2. We'll settle for that, and we'll accept a ceasefire. So probably going to be a defeat this time out. And I suppose up at Hill 70.9, I used that battle group. Sander was the only regular unit. Donath and Houseman, their troops just didn't stand at all. And even Sander's troops are retreating, but these guys, look how far back some of them have gone. So we didn't really have any chance of holding 70.9 with that battle group up there. And our light field howitzers, we've lost one destroyed. We lost one machine gun. But hopefully we'll be able to recover most of them for the future battles. So let's see what that does for us. I'm expecting a defeat. Hopefully it won't be a major defeat. No, it can't be. We've only lost one victory point. Minor defeat. Okay. So we've lost 51% area and weight forces. We've lost, yeah, so if we had almost 1400, we lost 700 odd. Overall results, minus 39%. Complete loss. Yeah, okay, so but let's check out the casualties. That's a simple thing. So they lost 250 men, 136 heavily wounded, 88 missing, and we captured 23, one scout, probably from the scout car that we took out, and that would be the APC here. And I lost one tank, so we didn't see two of them, kept heading back somewhere, and we didn't actually lose that much in the way of infantry. Command was the worst problem for us in terms of losses. Heavy weapons is also a problem. But infantry, that's because they ran, I suppose. They lost a lot of commanders, they lost a lot of infantry as well. And 4 heavy weapons. Good. So they've taken a fair bit of damage, and I don't think they've actually gained that much. Let's have a look at the vehicles and see if we can work out what they took them out. So the scout car took several hits from the 5-inch anti-tank guns. Panzer Grenadier 39s and 4.5-inch, 4.5 centimetre I should say. Can't really see what it was that took it out. Lots of damage. I suppose it wasn't destroyed, it was disabled. So broken wheel and fuel in there. So yeah, probably just did so much damage that the crew just left it and bailed out, rather than it had been properly disabled. And on the tank, okay, lots of damages to sights I'm seeing. 1, 2, 5 hits. So the sight for the machine gun was stuck. I thought we had more hits than that. I'm not seeing what disabled it. The track was broken. Oh, sorry, apologies again. So I'm guessing that, again, the crew just abandoned the tank when their morale broke eventually. Not seen any gaping holes anywhere. In fact, let's say all hits rather than just the penetrating hits. So still just that one went into the wheels right at the start. I thought it drove on quite a while after that though. So I don't know if that was the one that broke the track or not. But Yeah, there's loads of hits there. It looks like about a dozen hits overall from mostly the 5cm guns. But don't see any major damage apart from the broken track. So, overall, not too bad. I don't think we've lost any ground. We'll have a look at the map. Okay, so this is the battle we just fought, was in this area here, and we lost 70.9, but I don't know if we'll have lost any territory. That battle group should have retreated south now. This battle group here, I think, is the one that we had the Churchills attack from. This battle group's been engaged. Don't think either of the others down here have. These tanks have moved up. They'll probably be involved in the attack. And so I suppose we just need to go ahead and see how we get on. So I'll do that in the next part. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. And hope to see you again next time. Cheers.